Alright, what's up guys? Back with part 2 of this 3-part series on my 72 bow front reef tank and everything that has to do with it in my entire house. The first part of the video I went over my RODI unit, some of my feeding products that I use, supplements that I use, chemicals I use, and books I use. So you guys check out that video if you haven't seen it. That, like I said, is going to be the first part of this video. But this is the second part of the video, guys. This is going to be my filtration system in my 72 bow front. Basically what this is, guys, is this is a 20-gallon long tank that would not have fit in here any other way than me knocking this center board out, and I know I discussed that in a previous video, so I'm not going to get into depth with that, but this is a 20-gallon long custom made SUMP refugium that I built. Basically just went to the store, bought a 20-gallon long tank, had Lowe's cut me some glass, got some silicone, which I did use 100% clear silicone, bought it from Lowe's, a couple bucks a tube, and basically just glued my baffles in here. Got a bubble baffle right there in the first chamber, and then goes into my refugium, which I believe my refugium is probably 7 or 8 gallons. I have my third stage, which is the return part. We're just going to kind of talk about what I have in this filtration system, what I'm running, and we're going to get into it right now. So basically, guys, what I've done is right out of my bulkhead, come from the bottom of the tank, I've just put a speedy fitting. It's a rubber fitting, come down 1.25 inch pipe. What that does is that runs right down through, dumps off right down into the inlet part. I am not running a filter sock, guys. I did away with that a couple months back. I've got a wedge cut in the bottom of that pipe so that it's not getting jammed up on the bottom as far as the ease of flow coming out of the tank in the overflow. So that's just running right into there. And then what I've got is, like I discussed in my previous part 1 videos, I've got this is my Penguin bio wheel system hang on the back filter that I run on my quarantine or hospital tank. I keep this thing in the sump with that bio wheel spinning, just to keep the beneficial bacteria from dying off on that bio wheel. So basically if I take and get a new fish, or if something happens in my display tank, I can pull this bio wheel out, stick it in the tank after draining 10 gallons or 5 gallons, whichever tank I decide to use depending on what's happening. Drain that amount of water from the main tank, put this bio wheel on, and then it creates an instant cycle, so there's no waiting and no guessing with setting up a quarantine tank or a hospital tank. So this is a really great feature to maybe think about if you guys are thinking about running a quarantine tank or hospital tank. Just bio wheels to me are the best. I know you can get those cloth filter ones that say they carry the beneficial bacteria, but there's no contact with air, and with this bio wheel, that's where the ammonia dies, or it kills off the ammonia. When that bio wheel spins, as it's spinning, it's in contact with air, so the ammonia is getting taken care of, and it's basically dealing with your nitrates, things like that. So bio wheels are great to have, guys, and if you're going to have one and you're going to run a quarantine tank or a hospital tank, just keep it running on your sump. That way, like I said, it keeps the beneficial bacteria. Basically, I've just got my little carbon sack right here, looking at a phosphate reactor and a carbon reactor from Bulk Resupply right now. They have a dual stage phosphate and carbon, GFO and carbon reactor that they sell for 50 bucks. Unfortunately, I don't have the room for it in my stand, so I got to get 2 separate ones, and I'm going to piggyback them. I'm going to put, let me see if I can get here, on my center brace right here, I'm going to put one here so it hangs down here, and then one right on the other side. When I say piggyback, that's what I mean. I'm going to put one right here, and it'll hang down here. They're 13 inches. They're 8 inches wide by 13 inches tall by 5 inches. It's basically bulk resupplies. What they've done is they've just taken, if you were to buy like a single stage unit for an RO or an extra DI resin, they basically just turn that into a reactor where you can run GFO or carbon. They've got their little plastic container screw top that goes inside the cylinder, and you can run your reactors. They run off a little maxi jet. So I'm going to be picking up 2 of those probably within the next month or 2. But for right now, I've got my carbon bag right here. Basically, this is just keeping down any splashing that might be occurring from the bio wheel, just to keep the salt creep and stuff down in the tank right here. This is my new SWC BMK 150 Extreme Protein Skinner running the Atman 2500 pump. This skimmer is doing a really great job. I'm super happy with my purchase on this skimmer. It is rated for up to 150 gallons on a light bio load, 120 gallons on a medium bio load, and 90 gallons on a heavy bio load. My complete system is only 90 gallons with this tank, with this sump. It's really probably only about 85 gallons because obviously the sump is not filled up with 20 gallons of water, which that would be if it was filled up all the way, but it's probably about 85 gallons of total water volume. But yeah, this skimmer is really doing a good job. This thing is just some funk. This thing is I'm really happy with my purchase. I paid $197 with shipping for this skimmer, and it's way better than if you were to spend that same money, say, on something like a Core Life Super Skimmer 125 or something like that. Those are 170 bucks, guys. The money that you spend on a protein skimmer can be spent much better than buying something from Petco or something like that, guys. You can get these SWC skimmers, which I was turned on to them through Mr. Saltwater Tank TV, his channel. He has the cone skimmer. I decided not to go with the cone skimmer on the basis that I wanted more water volume. This thing has a 6-inch diameter reaction chamber, whereas the cone is exactly what it is. It starts out 6 inches and it gets smaller to where it's probably only the size of the neck on this skimmer as it comes up. So you lose water volume there, which in turn you lose reaction time. So I wanted the bigger chamber. This skimmer is rated exactly the same thing as the 160 cone skimmer, but it's $70 cheaper. And to me, saving $70 and having bigger reaction chamber, more reaction time, more water volume, which in turn means better skimming in my opinion. So yeah, so I went with the SWC BMK 150 Extreme Protein Skimmer. It's made by SWC. It's a great skimmer, guys. This thing is, this is actually, if you can see that black in there, this is actually 2 days of skimming. So this thing is nasty. I've got my drain line here, and you can see the funk that's in there. I don't really use it. I just have it in case I go on vacation. It's just already hooked up, simple. I can put it in a gallon jug and step out for a couple days if I have to. But I just take the top off, empty it out. So probably do that in a couple days. That thing will probably be halfway filled up. But yeah, it's a great skimmer, guys. If you guys are looking or in the market for a good protein skimmer and you have a system relative to the size of mine, or even bigger, like I said, this thing's rated for up to 150 gallons on a light bio load, 120 mid bio load, and 90 on a heavy bio load. My parents actually have the BMK 200 Extreme SWC skimmer, which that thing's rated up to 250 gallons on a light bio load, 175 on a heavy bio load, and 90 or 100 on a heavy bio load. They're running the 200 BMK SWC skimmer in their tank. That thing's a beast too. It's an 8-inch cylinder, just like where this one's 6. Theirs is just bigger. It's bigger. It's a bigger skimmer. Running the same pump, just bigger body for the skimmer, bigger collection cup, things like that. This is my new Core Life digital thermometer. You can see right now I'm running at 79.1 degrees on the tank. That's really where I like to keep it. This thing really hovers within 1 degree of itself. 24 hours a day. With the heater that I got and the little fan that I'm running, I can keep this temperature within 1 degree of itself 24 hours a day. Back there in the back, you can see I've got my 150 watt deep blue submersible heater, which is set right now on 82, and it doesn't ever get that high, because if I place the heater in my display tank, guys, I would be well above 82 degrees with it in the display tank. With me running it on the sump where it is, you have to adjust these things a little bit higher to actually control the temperature in the main tank, because the water is traveling at such a greater distance through the system. So it took me a couple weeks to figure it out, but I got it figured out, set perfectly stable to where this temperature hovers between 79 and 80.5 24 hours a day. So I can live with a 1 degree 1 degree or less temperature change on this system within 24 hours, no matter what the temperature is outside or inside. Got my mangroves. I actually running 4 right now on it. This one, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just splitting. It's getting 2 more leaves on the top, so I'm actually happy with that. My lighting system for my refugium is a basic. Actually, I went to Petco, bought this. I don't know. It's like an octopus arm movable light. Bought a bulb. It's a 13 watt compact fluorescent 50/50 bulb. It's 420 nm blue and 6500K white for $13 at Petco. It's a great bulb. Everything I've had in my refugium grows great. It grows great coralline algae on my rock I have in my refugium. It's growing the heck out of my macroalgae. Actually, what I did, if you guys can see this on this coming into my refugium, I took and just stuffed some macroalgae down in there to cut down on some of the micro bubbles that were coming from the first stage, not running that filter sock and from the protein skimmer, which has helped a lot. I have a good amount of down here in the refugium, guys. I think I've added a couple more pieces, but I think I got probably, get that light reflection off of there, I got probably about, I don't know, 15 pounds of rock down there now. And it's just covered. You guys can see the coralline algae. It's just growing like crazy. There are lots of critters in this refugium. I got copepods, amphipods, sand sifting, anything living in the sand. There's a lot of life on this rock. If you guys can see that, I don't know if you can be able to see that. Yeah, it's blurry. My camera's not the best. Sorry about that, guys. But there's a lot of life on this rock. It's a really good rock. And it's a really nice refugium that I've built here. Like I said, it's probably about 8.5 gallons. Right next to that, right here, I've got my 13 watt submersible JBJ Submariner UV sterilizer. This thing is really nice. It fits really snug, really good right inside the refugium. Bulb is inside, the pump's inside. It's a total package. There's no extra pumps or anything to buy, guys. This was a great buy. This thing has been working really good. Haven't seen any kinds of problems with algae or anything in the tank since I put this in. Got it. I think I got it off of, I can't remember where I got it, but I think it was like 120 bucks or something like that, roughly. But it's 13 watt JBJ UV sterilizer. My return pump is a 740 Via Aqua return pump. With the head pressure that I have, I'm probably getting about 600 gallons per hour return, which is enough for me. I have a Rio 3100, which is 900 gallon per hour return pump, but the impeller's broke in it, so I'm just kind of holding on to it for backup. This Via Aqua I bought when I started my 30 gallon, so it's it's about a year old now, so I just opted to go with this because I just know that it's mine, and the other pump came with this tank when I bought it. So I've got a couple light strips, or a couple power strips. I got one here. There's my fan that I run. This is all controlling my lights here. These are timers for my lights. I run my lights for, let me try to figure this out real quick. My my blue lights, my actinic lights that I have two actinic bulbs. They come on at 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning. They run until 9:15 at night. My white lights come on at 9 o'clock and they run until 5:30 and go off at 5:30. And then moon lights are always on. They're the LEDs that I put on the tank. So yeah, I've got my light cycle. Blues coming on at 6:37, turning off at 9:15. Whites come on after the blues at 9 and turn off at 5:36. So the light cycle is good with those timers. I have two more power strips over here. This timer runs the fan on the tank. This timer is running something else. Oh, my refugium light, and then I've just got a bunch of plugs and stuff there. So just a quick look at my filtration, guys. This is my 20-gallon long sump, custom built sump refugium. You guys like my video, subscribe. There will be a part 3 to this video. Part 3 will be discussing the actual display tank, all the coral fish, rocks, amount of sand, things like that. It's just going to get in depth with that, guys. So if you guys like my video, subscribe. If you guys got any comments, questions, concerns, hit me up. Rate my videos, guys, and stay tuned. There's many more videos to come on this 72-gallon project. Thanks, guys.